Good morning, everyone. I now call to order the meeting for the Bids and Awards Committee for today, August 27, 2026. May we request the back secretariat to please conduct the roll call of the back members, DWG observers, in both in person and online.
Good day, everyone. Before we officially begin the pre-bid conference proceeding, may we conduct the roll call of attendance. Kindly answer present when your name is called. For Bids and Awards Committee, Engineer Brian R. Villanueva, back
Pre-
chairperson.
Present.
Maria Teresa Bibaldeo, back vice chairperson. Engineer Jomar Cortez, back member. Engineer Wilfredo Birial, back member. Engineer Richard B. Pilapil Jr. and user. For back secretariat, Engineer Arturo Iswaran, procurement head. Engineer Christine Ligutong, Backsec. Celsa F. Cabusas, Backsec. Eric Eligama, Backsec. From Planning and Design section, Engineer Mario R. Lafuente III. From Maintenance section, Engineer Arsen J. Pundok. From Bidders Representative, Mary Grace Mansueto and Shahani Apau from ASR Construction. Thank you. The attendance has been duly noted and recorded.
Thank you, ma'am. With the four back members present, I declare that the quorum is established. Our main agenda for today is the pre-bid conference for the following projects. Contract ID 26GE0035, Rebid, widening of permanent bridge, Guitran Bridge, along Sindangan-Siayan-Dumingag-Mahayag Road, Mahayag-Dumingag Section, Zamboanga del Sur, with approved budget for the contract of 107,138,160. Next is 26GE0069, replacement of permanent weak bridge, Salug Diut Bridge, along junction Aurora-Ozamis City Road, Zamboanga del Sur, with approved budget for the contract of 27,200,880 pesos. Next is 26GA007T, replacement of permanent weak bridge, Demorok FBR, along junction Blancia, Molave-Josefina Road, Zamboanga del Sur, with approved budget for the contract of 103,576,076 pesos and 21 centavos. Next is the goods, uh, 26GE 26 GGE 0001, supply installation of application of road safety facilities, roadway lighting along junction Mahayag-Dumingag-Siayan-Sindangan Road, Dulop Dumingag Road, kilometer 1685 plus 250 to kilometer 1682 plus 800, with a approved budget for the contract of 2,970,000. This pre-bid conference is being conducted to discuss the content of the documents for the technical and financial proposals, as well as the program of works in accordance with the specified item of works. Uh, Brief representation, explanation by Buck, the of the following basic contract data, including contract description, ABC, and duration, to be discussed by the planning and design section by Engineer Lapuente.
Good morning, everyone. Let's begin with 26GE0035, rebid, widening of permanent bridges, Gitran Bridge B01847MN along Sindangan-Siayan-Dumingag-Mahayag Road, Mahayag-Dumingag-Sect, Zamboanga del Sur. With the approved budget for a contract of 107,138,160 pesos. Uh, Contract duration, 320 calendar days. Number of workable days, 220 calendar days. Number of predetermined unworkable days, 100 calendar days. Number of Sundays, 46. Rainy days, 54. Mm. Items involves Part A, facilities for the engineer. Provision of field office for the engineer rental basis. Part B, other general requirements. Project billboard or signboard. Occupational safety and health. Traffic management. Mobilization. Part C, earthwork. Individual removal of trees, 150 mm to 300 mm diameter. Removal of structures and obstruction for the existing bridge. Embankment from Barrow. Part D, sub-base and base course. Aggregate base, sub-base course. Part F, bridge construction. Structural steel sheet pile furnish. Structural steel sheet piles driven. Concrete piles cast in drilled holes 1.5 meter diameter. Concrete piles cast in drilled holes 1.8 meter diameter. Permanent casing 1.5 meter diameter, 10 mm thick. Permanent casing 1.8 meter diameter, 12 mm thick. Pile integrity, pile integrity testing sonic. High strain dynamic testing PDA. High strain PDA for 1.5 meter diameter and high strain for 1.8 meter diameter. Reinforced concrete railing double. Timber structure for craneway. Reinforcing steel grade 40. Reinforcing steel grade 60. Structural concrete 20.68 megapascal, class A, 28 days. Structural concrete 27.58 megapascal, class A, 28 days. Pre-stressed structural concrete members, girder type for DAS B, 30 meters. Elastomeric bearing pads, expansion joint. For part G, drainage and slope protection structures. Grouted riprap class A, handled rock embankment, and concrete slope protection. And part H is for the miscellaneous, trees furnishing and transplanting. Those are item involved. And for the embankment limits for the approach slab, 11 meters for the embankment from station 1670 plus 401.70 to K 1670 plus 390.70. Then for item 200 limits is 6 meters to K 1670 plus 401.70 to K 1670 plus 395.70. Those are in the for 26 GE 0035. Next is for 26 GE 0069. Thus, replacement of permanent weak bridges, Salug Bridge B00462 MN along Junction Aurora-Ozamis City Road, Zamboanga del Sur. With the approved budget for the contract of 27,200,880 pesos. Contract duration 206 calendar days. Workable days 141 calendar days. Predetermined unworkable days 65 calendar days. Number of Sundays 30. Rainy days 35. Uh, Items involves for part A, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer rental basis. Part B, other general requirements, project billboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization. Part C, earthwork. We have removal of pipes and other pipes culverts, 150 mm diameter. Removal of structures and obstruction for the existing bridge. For part F, bridge construction, we have concrete pile cast in drilled holes 1.5 meter diameter. Permanent casing 1.5 meter diameter, 10 mm thick. Pile integrity testing sonic. High strain dynamic testing PDA. Reinforcing steel grade 40. Reinforcing steel grade 60. Structural concrete 27.58 megapascal, class A, 28 days. Pre-stressed structural concrete members, girder type for DAS B, 30 meters. Elastomeric bearing pads. Those are item involved. For this project, we have scope of work. The scope of work covers the construction of the bridge and selected reinforced concrete components of the superstructure, including board piles, columns, capping, back walls, staircase, wing walls, abutment diaphragm, intermediate diaphragm, and girders. That's all for 26 GE0069. Next project is 26 GE0070. Replacement of permanent weak bridges, Demorok FBR B01546 MN along Blancia Molave-Josefina Road, Zamboanga del Sur. With the approved budget for the contract of 103,576,76.21 pesos. Uh, Contract duration 320 calendar days. Workable days 220 calendar days. Predetermined unworkable days 100 calendar days. Number of Sundays 46. Rainy days 54. Items involved for Part A, facilities for the engineer. Provision of field office for the engineer rental basis. Provision of fixtures and furnitures, equipment, and appliances for the field office for the engineer. Provision of 4x4 pickup type service vehicle for the engineer on rental basis. Operation and maintenance of 4x4 pickup service vehicle for the engineer. For Part B, other general requirements. Project billboard, occupational safety and health, traffic management, mobilization. For Part C, earthwork, removal of structures and obstruction for the existing bridge, column, and capping. Removal of structures and obstruction for the existing steel bridge. Removal of actual structures, obstruction of 0.23 meter thick PCCP unreinforced. Surplus common excavation. Embankment for roadway structure excavation, common soil. Subgrade preparation for common material. Part D, subbase and base course, aggregate subbase course. Part E, surface course, Portland cement, concrete pavement, unreinforced, or PCCP, 0.28 meter thick for 14 days. Uh, Part F, bridge construction, structural steel sheet pile furnish, structural steel sheet piles driven, concrete pile cast in drill holes, 1.2 meter diameter, concrete pile cast in drill holes, 1.8 meter diameter, permanent casing, 1.2 meter diameter, 10 mm thick, permanent casing, 1.8 meter, 12 mm thick, pile integrity testing, high strain dynamic testing for 1.2 meter diameter, high strain dynamic testing for 1.8 meter diameter, reinforced concrete railing double, timber structure for craneway, reinforced steel grade 40, reinforced steel grade 60, structural concrete 20.68 megapascal, 28 days, structural concrete 27.58 megapascal, 28 days, pre-stressed structural concrete members, girder type 4, that's 24 meter, elastomeric bearing pads, expansion joint. And for Part G, drainage and slope protection structures, we have hand-laid rock embankment and concrete slope protection. Those are item involved for 26G0070.
For next project 26 GGE 001, supply installations application of roadway safety facilities, road lightning along junction Mahayag-Dumingag-Siayan-Sindangan Road, Dulop-Dumingag Road. Station K1685 plus 250 to 1682 plus 800. We have approved budget for the contract is 2,970,000. For the contract duration, 56 calendar days, workable days, 42 calendar days, predetermined workable days, 14 Sundays calendar, 7 days, rainy days, 7 days. For item description, Part B, other general requirements, project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health program, mobilization. For Part C, earthquake, earthwork, Structure excavation, common soil, and for the drainage slope protection. Structures, reinforced steel, grade 40 for solar light pole column, and structural concrete class A for pedestal. And for parts H, miscellaneous structure, single arm, 10-meter pole solar lead roadway lightning, 120 watt, 1.5 meter mass arm length. That's all for this 26 GGA001.
Thank you, Engineer. Requirements of bidding documents, including instructions to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms to be discussed by Engineer Richard Pilapil.
Hello. Good morning. So to participate and qualify in our procurement activity for these projects, for the project mentioned, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents: the instruction to bidders, the bid data sheet, general conditions of the contract, special conditions of the contract, bill of quantities, drawings and specifications, securities, and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instruction to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instruction are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special condition of the contract respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from PhilJEPs and DPWH websites. So before we proceed to the next agenda, let me first remind the interested bidders with the memorandum uh, issued by our Honorable Secretary dated February 24, 2026, stating that considering the current omnibus sworn statement already incorporates sworn declarations relating to beneficial ownership disclosure, and in order to streamline documentary requirements and avoid duplication of sworn submission, the separate submission of the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership shall no longer be required. And also, for those interested bidders who are uh, who are interested to drop or to submit their bids for the project 26JE 0035 and 26JE 0070, please be reminded also that you are required to submit your ISO 9001:2015 certification requirement. So this is in accordance with the Department Order number 110 series of 2024. It is being stated there that all procuring entities within the department are required to include ISO 901:2015 certification or its latest version as applicable as part of the uh, project requirements in the bidding documents for infrastructure project. So this requirement applies to bidders classified under the following under the PCAB size range of medium B and medium A, with allowable range of contract cost of more than 115 million but less than 300 million, and more than 30 million but less than 150 million. So thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Richard Pilapil. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. Bidders checklist of requirements for its bid, including technical and financial proposals. The first bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents, including the eligibility documents, PhilJEP certificate of registration, platinum membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR, pickup license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's SLCC in accordance with ITB Clause 5.5. The SLCC shall supported by an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. NFCC computation in accordance with ITB Clause 5.6 joint venture agreement, if applicable. Bid security in the prescribed form and amount in accordance with ITB Clause 16 and validity period under ITB Clause 15. Project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart of the personnel to be deployed for the procurement project to be bid, list of contractors personnel, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid, with their complete qualifications and experience data. These personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set by the BDS. Less of contractors' major equipment units which are owned less under purchase agreements or supported by proof of ownership or certificate of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the uh, as the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the BDS latest general information sheet, omnibus statement in accordance with section 5.4, 54.3 of the IRR. Latest general information sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership, uh, BOI, duly received by the Security and Exchange Commission, Sect, for corporation. Disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership, Section 81.1 and Section 82 of IRR of RA number 12009. Contractor Performance Evaluation System, CPS rating as per DO 171 series of 2025, or an honor certificate of final acceptance or equivalent for private sector contracts. The financial proposal shall contain the following: duly signed bid form, duly signed bid prices and the bill of quantities, duly initial detail estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid, duly initial quarterly, monthly cash flow and payment schedule. This standardized format is based on the provision of the new Government Procurement Act RA 12009, and it's aligned with the updated Philippine bidding documents for the infrastructure projects RA 9184. Next is the criteria and procedure of eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award to be discussed by Engineer Richard Pilapil.
Hello, good morning again. So for the criteria and procedure of eligibility check, the BAC shall determine the eligibility of all prospective bidders based on the legal, technical, and financial requirements prescribed in the bidding documents. So the eligibility documents were already discussed. Uh, Next is the preliminary examination of bids. After the submission and opening of bids, the BAC will conduct the preliminary examination to verify the completeness of the submitted documents. So only bids that are complete and compliant were with the required documentary submissions will be considered for detailed evaluation. So it is important to note that incomplete or non-compliant submission may result in a disqualification of the bid. Next is the detailed evaluation of bids. So the BAC shall then conduct a detailed evaluation of bids that passed the preliminary examination. So the evaluation includes the verification of arithmetic calculations in the bill of quantities and bid form, determination of compliance with the technical specification, the scope of work and other project requirements, the evaluation of the financial proposal and comparison of bid prices, and the ranking of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid. So any necessary corrections of arithmetic errors shall be made in accordance with the procedure provided under the IRR. So next is the post qualification. The bidder with the lowest calculated bid shall undergo post qualification. So during this stage, the BAC will validate, verify, and ascertain the accuracy and authenticity of all documents submitted by the bidders. So in this stage, the it includes the verification of the contractor's legal, technical, and financial documents, the validation of the single largest completed contract and ongoing projects, the inspection or verification of equipment, personnel, and other project resources when necessary, and the confirmation of the bidder's capability to undertake and complete the project. So if the bidder successfully pass the post-qualification process, the bid shall declared as the lowest calculated and responsive bid. So if bidder fails the post-qualification, the BAC shall disqualify the bidder and proceed with the post-qualification of the bidder with the next lowest calculated bid. So lastly, the award of the contract after successful completion of the post-qualification process, the BAC shall determine the award of the contract to the bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Richard Pilapil. Any questions, comments from the bidders? Ma'am? Wala. From the back members, additional? None. Other matters to be discussed by Engineer Richard Pilapil?
As part of the today's pre-bid conference, we'd also like to discuss the and remind all prospective bidders regarding the implementation of the DPWH three-strike policy. So the three-strike policy is being strictly implemented by the department to ensure that the contractors comply with project requirements, contract provisions, and performance standards. So under this policy, violations or deficiencies committed by the contractor may correspond with a corresponding strike depending on the gravity and the frequency of the offense. So repeated violations may result in sanctions, including suspension from participating in future DPWH bidding activities, negative performance evaluation, or other administrative actions pursuant to existing DPWH guidelines and applicable procurement laws, rules, and regulations. So in this regard, all prospective bidders are strongly advised to carefully review the plans, specifications, and contract requirements, ensure the availability of qualified personnel, equipment, and financial capacity, strictly comply with project schedule, quality standards, and safety requirements, and coordinate promptly with the procuring entity regarding the project concerns and implementing issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Pilapil. Summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins, are to be issued. And that's all for this morning. And no other comments, questions. So let us adjourn.